Okay, children, let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Hey everyone, welcome to A Godless Universe. You know what? One of the worst things is I've been in such a rush today. I've been all over the map today. You know, you have one of those days. I usually do a sound check before, so you go on there, you do a sound check, you make sure that everything is good. You know, if anyone who's a musician out there, or like especially if you're like a live musician, you always want your sound checks, right? You always want to. You always want to make sure that what you're hearing, and I don't like using headphones, so what I hear is kind of like low end through my speakers, so I can kind of hear. So I don't have to have the, you know, when you're here all alone and you kind of got all this big clunky piece of headphone on. So you know, it's I hopefully the sound is okay. It should be. It's, you know, one of those things. I start the day off. I'm sure we all have these days, and it's one of my days. First off, I usually go to sleep early, right? So I wake up at 8:30. I wake up at 11:30. I had 3 hours sleep, and I'm not a guy who fights it. I'm like, okay, you know what? So you get 3 hours sleep. I wake up. I couldn't fall back asleep. I give it like 5 minutes. So I wake up and I go to work. I was working on the next video. Which is the Stargate. I'm doing a video on. I just did Battlestar Galactica, so I'm doing all of the propulsion, travel across the galaxy systems on all the major TV shows and movies. So I started working on that, and I usually hit the gym at 3. I couldn't fall asleep, so I couldn't. I was so tired, but I couldn't fall asleep. I finally fell asleep. Had a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment because I have a loose crown. And so that takes longer than expected. I have to go get amoxicillin. I haven't even prepared for today's show yet, except for bits and pieces. And oh man, and I always like doing like a 20-minute run through on the show, just because it gets your you know, your lips, you get your chops wet, and you kind of like feel it all out and everything. And so when I'm scrambling, throwing my shirt on, getting where's my, do I have it? I have no people. I have no, you know, it's one of these things when you're the producer. It is pretty amazing though. Like AI, I mean, this is the perfect lead in to AI, but did you hear there's a #1 song on the country charts? A #1 song on the country charts that is AI. I think it's #1, right? We're gonna look at it. #1, or should I hit this button? What the #1 song, guys? Like, you gotta think, like, this isn't the first song. This is the start of AI, and a song has hit the charts, the country charts. It really should be the ridiculous laughing. If AI, guys, seriously, if an AI song comprised completely of AI parts, vocals, music. I used to be a musician too, so I'm like, all right, stop the laughing. If any musicians out there going back 4 decades, you bought that little 4-track recorder at home, right? You put a cassette tape in, and basically it recorded 2 tracks forward, 2 tracks backwards, right? So you had to put the cassette tape in and fiddle around. Now you hit a few prompts. I imagine you say the key, maybe you say a few chord progressions. Like, I want the key of G. I want the first, 4th, and 5th chords prominent in the chorus. Give me a minor second during the verse, and this and that, and it spits out a song, and they release it, and it goes on the charts. I think it's #1 on the country charts. What the, like, if excuse me, what the fuck? I mean, is it going to be, like, you have to ask yourself, is it going to be so prevalent and so normal that there's literally, kids, like the next generation coming up, I mean, we thought the millennials were kind of weird, right? I mean, they are. Hey man, that's a compliment. It's a freaking, if someone calls you weird in today's environment, Just say thank you. All right. Just say thank you. That's what I say. But country, yeah. I guess it's not too. I guess if it's going to be a music genre, it's probably going to be country, right? It's pretty basic 3-chord. I mean, some of the musicians, Keith Urban, right? Guitarist Keith Urban, amazing, right? There's some amazing musicians in country. The songs are structured pretty simply. So if you're going to have a AI hit on your hands, oh, it really is incredible. Did you see Putin's robot? This is where, so guys, I am looking for YouTubers to come on the show because there's so many things I want to banter back and forth with someone on. It's hard to banter by yourself. I mean, I'm pretty good at talking to myself. I prove it every time I'm by myself. But if there are already YouTubers out there that are looking to, they got some at least some good basic science background. I'm a screenwriter. I'm also an entrepreneur, so I got some. I worked on Wall Street for a number of years. I wouldn't mind finding some peeps. So if you know some peeps, I called Brian Cox. He hasn't called me back yet. Hey, Brian, you want to do a online? Brian Cox is going on a world tour. A world tour. Arena tour. These are the days that astrophysicists go on world arena tours and they sell out. They freaking sell out. Astrophysicists on tour with opening act Neil deGrasse Tyson. This is I think it's awesome. I think a guy like Brian Cox, a lot of the astrophysicists out there are absolutely entertaining to watch, right? I mean, they are, I watch so much of it, so I might just be redundant for me. But when these guys go on tour, they're selling out 20, 30,000 seat arenas. I think he's doing Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium is like 90,000 people. What the fuck? It's like opening act Taylor Swift on the Brian Cox. Is the universe infinite? That's a great question, right? Is the universe infinite? I think I did a video on whether the universe is infinite, and if it is infinite, I don't know how you would find out. You could go 10 billion years and go, okay, that's enough. You know what? It's infinite. But had you have gone like another, let's say, half a light year, you would have hit the end. You could, every time you stop, you could have said, well, we just could continue to go. It doesn't end. So at what point in time do you assume, okay, it's infinite? Or are you going in a circle? Like, is the universe built in a sphere? And even when you think about infinity, we have an easier way. So between 1 and 2, you have a finite number of numbers, right? It has to be, because 1 eventually gets to 2. There has to be a finite number of numbers. But in our brains, we say, well, we just keep cutting in half. Or we just add a 0 in front of, after the decimal. Just keep adding a 0. Well, when you gotten too small, we'll just add another 0, add another 0, add another 0, add another. Well, in theory, it works. And our minds allow us to perceive the idea of infinity within a closed structure of, let's say, numbers between 1 and 2. Because we just tell ourselves, just add another 0 or cut it in half, cut it in half, cut it in half. Well, you hit Planck length. Planck length, which is astronomically tiny. Planck length is what is it? I didn't want to say 1 trillionth, a tenth to the power of the size of an atom or something. I gotta punch this up. What is Planck length is equal to? I'm gonna get to the number 1.616255 times 10 to the negative 35th meters. That is So you hit that point, right? But when we take a look, so infinity within a closed system, 1 and 2. Just cut it in half, just cut it in half, just add a zero, just add a zero, just there we hit Planck length. And at Planck length, you know, I gotta do a video on Planck length. And see, the whole idea of godless universe, like I'm not an astrophysicist, right? But I am a science nerd. I'm a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I'm a, you know, sci-fi nerd, horror nerd, fantasy nerd. That's kind of, we talk about things at a normie level. We're not going to get in there and hit CERN. Can we do some experiments with electrons today? No. we probably won't be doing that. We talk at a normie level. So we want to argue whether aliens exist. All right, enough of the laughs. That's enough of the laughs. I oughta just... But the idea of aliens, do aliens exist? I have friends, plural. I mentioned this yesterday. One of my friends said, did you mean me? Did you mean me when you said believing in aliens? I was like, yeah, I did. I did. I don't. There's just no way. There's no evidence at all whatsoever. If there's going to be spacecraft traveling that speed within our atmosphere, there's going to be a heat signature. Not from the craft. You could say, okay, it's anti-gravity, yada, yada, yada. Fine. I'll give it to you. Fine. You can have your anti-gravity. But when you have, it's like an asteroid going through our atmosphere. It fireballs. Even when I did a YouTube video on The Flash, I mean, a lot of people, I think some people really think that the Speed Force exists in Marvel. I think they really do. Because that's like, people were giving me comments about, what about the Speed Force? Like, this is an exercise if someone tried to go the speed of light. Or not even a tenth of the way, a fraction of the way to the speed of light. You would turn into a fireball. The friction alone through our atmosphere would make you, and that would be the same thing with anything within our atmosphere. These things flying off at Mach 20 or something like that, or I'm sorry, there would be so much more evidence, and we just don't see anything. But it's a great argument, and I look forward to these arguments. It's like I would love to bring someone on to discuss this with me, who has a very good understanding. I mean, not just tertiary, not just like a mumbo jumbo level of aliens exist because I was picked up by a spacecraft. It's like, oh shit, really? You were getting picked up by a spacecraft? Why doesn't anyone take something from a spacecraft when they're picked up, abducted? Why is no one saying there's an ashtray? Fuck, these aliens smoke. I'm going to take the ashtray, and this will be my proof. And of course, you take the ashtray back and you say, "Well, you're trying to tell us that aliens smoke."
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Never. So okay,
Let's make lemonade.
Let's make lemonade. Is that like what? Is that like one of the best? Oh, you know what? I was going to tell. So the story of, I'm going to say this for tomorrow. The story of Tropic Thunder, Tom Cruise, how Ben Stiller got Tom Cruise, and how Tom Cruise and what Tom Cruise did to get to have the role of Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder. It's a very interesting story. I spent 20 years in Hollywood. I know it's like terrible. 20 years of my life in that stinking hellhole, if I may say, on a godless universe. But anyway, that is, I actually drove by on my way to the dentist today. And this drives me crazy. Guy, I don't know if it drives you crazy. On my way there, there's two massive churches. These things are massive. One is Roman Catholic, and I think the other one is Lutheran. And yes, they're side by side. They're literally, you got a Roman Catholic and a Lutheran church side by side. Like, how does that? Is there like fights on Sunday morning? They got to break it up. Hey, you Catholics, get away from the Lutherans or Presbyterians or whatever. I got to check. But these structures are absolutely freaking mammoth. They got parking lots the size of arenas, I swear sometimes. And they sit empty 98% of the time. 98, like they're always empty. They're always empty. There's people on the street. There's families living in cars. Why do we have structures that are like 50,000 square feet empty, sitting idle for 98% of the time. It makes me think that if you're going to give your money to something, give it to something that doesn't close except for Sunday morning. I'm not kicking religion in the schnazzers. I'm not kicking it. I don't care about religion. I could care less. Science doesn't care about religion. Religion cares about science. But science don't give a damn, because I can probably prove that 3 pink elephants are flying around the corner a lot easier than you could prove religion. Because I can prove elephants exist. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You know, look, there's an elephant. Let's go to a zoo. There's an elephant. I get a can of pink paint. I paint these elephants pink. Fuck, I'm 2/3 there. All I got to get them to do is fly, right? What do? I call David Copperfield. I said, David, it's your buddy Danny. He says, who? Danny. Who? Danny. Oh, never mind. And I say, can you get these 3 pink elephants to fly for me? And he does it. Boom. I take a picture. I take some video. Look, three flying pink elephants. But making this statement does not suggest that someone needs to disprove it or it's true, right? I mean, that would be ridiculous. I mean, that would be ridiculous. There was a... there was I wonder if I could find it. This is like one of the best. Is it this one? No. This is what happens when you're not perfectly. Oh, you know what? It's probably under this one, isn't it? No. Oh well. Can't find it. That's okay. We'll do it. We got too much. So I mentioned the country music. AI is hitting the charts, baby. AI is hitting the charts. Where is it? Okay, no, I don't want to do that one. Okay. Oh, jeez. No, don't want that one. Oh, come on. Share screen. There we go. Share screen. AI country song. There we go. And so on YouTube, I don't know if anyone's a YouTuber out there, they got this new system by which you stream in 2 formats, the 16:9 and then the narrow. So I did this yesterday and everything is messed up. So if anyone's a YouTuber, so I'm doing this thing so that on a mobile, and so I built these other sort of setups, but this is the best you can do with setting up for mobile. I mean, it looks okay, but anyway, that's, there's some, YouTube has got some issues iron out here. YouTube. There we go. Perfect. That's what I like. What to know about the AI generated country song topping Billboard's country digital song sales chart? Song sales. So it's selling. People's buying it. A song created through artificial intelligence has made history topping a Billboard country music chart, but it has also sent shockwaves through the music industry, with artists getting vocal about the AI generated content. My friends, we've crossed a line. This is the new country tune, Walk My Walk. Didn't someone else sing that song called Walk My Walk? Walk My Walk? Tim McGraw? I'm purely guessing now. By Breaking Rust. Breaking Rust is the AI band. Recently hit #1 on Billboard's country digital song sales chart, reaching over 3 million streams on Spotify in less than a month. Can you imagine being a musician? You work your whole freaking life learning how to play guitar. I mean, I learned how to play guitar and keyboards and all that. Like, now all you got to do is enter some prompts. And what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a musician. Like, what? Can you say you're a musician if you're entering prompts into AI? I don't think we know what's coming our way. I don't think we do with AI. Just what I've seen in the last year, what I do here as a I was a screenwriter. worked on productions in Los Angeles. Do you know what it takes to set up a scene, like a movie scene? They're literally getting to the point where they are entering prompts and getting better results or equal results or near equal results in minutes. In minutes. Now we have music topping the charts, my friends. Billboard has acknowledged Breaking Rust is an AI act and has said it is one of at least 6 to chart in the last few months alone. 6 have charted. Ultimately, I want to know what system they're using. Is it Midjourney? Are they using? No, they're not using ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT and Gemini. Gemini has gotten so much better over the last 6 months. Oh my God, so much better. Still a ways to go, but I said Midjourney. Is that what they're making? What is the? Or is there a music specific AI that they're using? Ultimately, this feels like an experiment to see just how far something like this can go and what happens in the future and in other disciplines of art as well. It's not an experiment. Why would you think it's an experiment? This is just getting started. I mean, this is just getting started. We're on the doorstep of AI. The very idea, I did a video last week, and actually a video on long form, about will AI turn us into Borg? Well, I mean, we start getting chip implants. How far away do you think that is into the future? After chip implants, you got like, hey, did you get the upgraded chip implant? Say, oh, what? Which, who? Like is there going to be a day where there's going to, because if you can pump out music at an accelerated rate. Now, basically, if you're a musician, in an octave, there's only, everyone has the same amount of notes, right? 8 notes from your, well, there's actually, if you take a look, 12 notes with all your sharps and flats and everything. Everyone's got the same amount of notes, and you go an octave higher, octave lower, but really, music stays within a 2-octave band, really. Everyone gets the same, you get the major first, major fourth, major fifth. You get your minor second, your minor third, your minor sixth, and then what is the 7th? Augmented 7th? I mean, no one plays the 7th in the scale, 7th chord. I mean, except for like real musicians. I was never a real musician. I never played the 7th. I don't I will scale it on a solo, but basically, what's the point of learning how to play guitar when you can play AI prompts? Are kids gonna say, what do you want to be, son? I want to be a musician. Well, you keep working on those prompts. Go off. That's awesome. Although that's not an experiment. AI artists won't require things that a real human artist will require. Keep going to record companies. So record companies become their own, their own music makers. They just hire an AI team. Warner Music. Well, we don't have artists anymore. It's like Max Headroom. Max Headroom was way ahead of his time. He had something there that was maybe just 40 years ahead of his time. Remember Max Headroom? That was right around when the first Tron came out. Tron. Anyone see that movie? That's not even sci-fi. This is what happens when you get people who have know nothing about sci-fi to do sci-fi movies. You would get like Fantastic Four. Did you see the science in Fantastic Four? Did you see it? Seriously, like holy jeez. We're in trouble, my friends. We're in trouble. ABC News attempted to reach out to Breaking Rust's creator for comment, but did not receive a response. Hi, is this Midjourney? Can I speak to? Where's my phone? I'm waiting for. Oh, there we go. I'm waiting for Avi Loeb to call me back. I put a bet out there with him. The bet is I don't believe 3i Atlas is aliens. He says there's a very good chance. Tomorrow I'm going over. I think it's 10. I might have 12. 12 of the biggest bullshit things verbatim that Avi Loeb has said. Verbatim. It's a big word. That means exactly words from his mouth. I just got to remind myself of big words. And then the scientific explanation behind it, which it's kind of like, when you read the scientific explanation, you're like, fuck, Abby. If you could, if you can be a astronomer, ASSTRO, maybe like I put an application in to be an astronomer at Harvard. It's what I do. No calls back. Putin. Have you heard about Putin, the Putin robot? Oh, fuck. We got shit today. This is like AI, man. I'm going to do Charlie Kirk here in about the Charlie Kirk mystery. This is the only time I'm going to talk about Charlie Kirk. The Charlie Kirk mystery, I'm going to do this in about, 10, 15 minutes. The Charlie Kirk mystery of what happened to Charlie Kirk is not that complicated if you ask me. I'm not going to show any video, no images or anything like that. You can go find them yourself. They're everywhere. I'm going to make the points. Then I'm going to tell you what I believe didn't happen. It's just not that complicated. When nothing adds up, that means nothing adds up. Every theory that's out there must not be true because nothing adds up. Is it by design? I mean, it sure looks like it. I mean, I'm not making any. I don't even like getting political. I think both political sides are fucked up. Can't even run a government, but yet they're in charge of running the government. How do you run the government? I have no idea, but we'll shut the fucker down. We're shutting this fucker down. I'm a free market capitalist, man. I was born in the Czech Republic. I was a refugee when I was 9 months old to the shores of Vancouver. A refugee, yes. The color of my skin would suggest white people can't be refugees. Yes, we were refugees. Nothing except the shirts on our backs. And America and the United States, Canada were taking in Czech refugees when the Soviets invaded. If you like having meat 4 times a year, which if New York, Mamdani gets his way in New York, you'll have meat, through these government. Who did those government grocery stores? Virginia, where was it? They're all shut down. There's no food, right? The supply chains for a food store are freaking insane. Insane. All these products that have to fresh produce, trying to get every daily, move it in. But Mamdani's going to get government does nothing right. NASA is probably one of the best things that they've done. And they're getting a budget cut. You know what? Contact your representative, your senator, and say, don't frickin' cut. Science is the only superpower we have in this world. Science, let me say that again. Science is the only superpower in this world. It's the only thing. Otherwise, we'll still be looking for scrolls in caves. We'll still be like farming the land like serfs. If it's not science, it's nothing. Nothing. We lost it all. Well, luckily, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great has a huge amount to do with today's current society. It was Alexander the Great that created the Hellenistic period, right? Upon his death, the Hellenistic, which basically means the Greece periods. But the Hellenistic period, the Romans took pretty much everything that Greek civilization had in the Hellenistic period. Unfortunately, could you imagine if Rome didn't fall and we were 1,000 years ahead? If the printing press was developed, why couldn't they develop it? Like Rome was so. If the printing press was developed, let's say right after Constantine made Christianity legal, let's just say, in the 4th century, and the printing press was created. And we skipped the whole Dark Ages thing, right? With the whole medieval churches in charge of everything, book burnings, let's burn everything. Imagine if technology started at 375, just after Emperor Constantine. Imagine being 1,000 years ahead of where we are today, right? So anyway, I definitely got in the tangent there. But that is That is so. Anyway, that started off with Charlie Kirk. I'm going to be doing Charlie Kirk here in a few minutes. So, Putin. That's what it was. I went to the communism. That's shit. I'm like a dog. I start talking and I'm like, okay, well, where's he going with this? And I literally have no idea. So on Christmas, I'm doing 8 hours. So if you're not doing anything on Christmas and you want to hang out and watch me burble for 8 hours, we're going to do the historical Jesus. The historical Jesus. Like the real, like, not the theologian one, the historical one, which I am actually fascinated. I am fascinated by the Knights Templar. I find the Knights Templar absolutely fascinating. I find the whole Roman times. Have you ever seen Life of Brian? If you need history, just watch Life of Brian. Always look on the bright side of life. Lost a piece of shit when you look. Okay, I know. Shut up. Get on with it. Okay, let's go to the. So Putin, you know what? I always say Putin. I don't always say Putin, but what I do say is never trust a man whose first syllable starts with poo. Thank you. Never trust a man whose first syllable of his name starts with poo. 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 He's a powerful man. Putin. Vladimir, I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything bad, man. Seriously, I'm your man. I'm not. He's a bad man. He's a very bad man. Russia has not had a great history. But anyway, this is the Putin robot. Did it work? It didn't work. Should I do? Okay. I'm going to read a little bit and then I'm going to show you the video. Okay. This is comedy at its best. This is science at its best too. Science is freaking hard. Science is hard shit. Science is a superpower because it's so hard to get it right. Russia, human robot falls on stage during debut. There's guys. Get the robot! Comrade, get the robot! The robot! The robot fell! Get the robot! Fucking Putin. Okay. Fuck. Russia's first humanoid robot with artificial intelligence fell on stage during its official debut. It was like Elon during his, I could smash this and the window won't break, and he smashes it and the window breaks. At a technology event in Moscow on November 10th, prompting staff to cover the machine. It's in the video. Cover the machine for public view while attempting to fix the malfunction. The robot named, Adol? Adol? Is it AI doll? AI doll, sorry. Was introduced by developers as an advanced example of anthropomorphic robotics built largely from domestic components. And you got to think, with all the sanctions, they're probably lacking a few domestic components. Was it probably built with empty Big Mac containers or something? As the robot was being led on stage by two staff members to the soundtrack of the film Rocky, could you imagine? It lost balance and fell, leaving several pieces behind on stage. I'm telling you, man, someone just showed you that. He says, that's not true. It is. It's very true. Video footage of the incident shared by independent Russian outlets showed staff rushing to hide the robot behind a screen as it was being dragged off the floor. Why it matters. The unveiling of AI doll marks Russia's attempt to join the global race to develop human-like robots powered by AI, led by Vladimir Vitkutkin, CEO of the Russian robotics firm Idol. The company says the robot integrates movement, object manipulation, and human-like interaction through embodied artificial intelligence. The fall was attributed to calibration issues. We've got to think of an excuse. Just say something. Calibration. at the press conference. It's calibration, my friend. It was problem with calibration. And the company maintains that the incident occurred during the robot's ongoing test phase. Well, maybe you should have said it was a test phase. You know, when Elon Musk fires off a rocket, like the big, what's the big Starship? He at least says, look, this is a test flight. It might explode, and we're actually planning on it exploding. So when it explodes, look, it was a test flight. We told you this is what was, we're going to release the robot, and the robot will fall 2 seconds into it. So do not be alarmed, my friends. Have you guys ever seen Anatoly on YouTube with the muscle guys? If you want to see some of the best YouTube videos, search Anatoly. And he's the guy with the 75-pound mop, and he fucking incredible. There's science there. There's science behind this Anatoly guy, right? Because you take a look at weight and muscle versus, moving potential energy, kinetic energy, moving it up. I mean, there's some real science there. Because he's it looks like he's breaking the laws of physics. But what we do see, my friends, I gotta turn the music off. So this is what happened. It looks like it. There it goes. There it goes. Holy shit! There it goes. I should have. Oh, Vladimir. I just want to see. Look at the fall. So look. I mean, this is so bad. Look at how it's walking out. This is the Putin. This is Russian robotics, my friend. If we ever get into a world war, this is what this is what we're up against. You can't. They can't even get the curtain right. Look, cover it up, comrade. Quickly, cover it up. Oh my God. Okay, that's enough of the circus music. That's cover it up before Putin sees. Putin. The only thing that communism, Soviet Union has given us is an appreciation for our society. They also given us the Kardashev scale, my friends. 1964, Nikolai Kardashev. And I have always maintained that the Kardashev scale is basically bullshit. Civilizations don't go out and harness the sun for energy. It's already creating fusion energy. You can't build a Dyson Sphere. Today, we are doing the Dyson Sphere. That's the last segment of today's show. Do you know how big the rocky planets are compared to the sun? The sun has 98.6% of all mass in our solar system. 98.6% of all mass in our solar system is the sun. And you're going to create a Dyson Sphere? You're going to rip apart every planet? Or you're going to go like 5-10 light years away to other solar systems to get material to build? People who believe in a Dyson Sphere, please wake the fuck up. Like, you got to wake the fuck up. And this is propagated by the Kardashev scale. Everything's going nano. It doesn't get... Russian ideology was about the bigger it is, the better it is. The bigger, is we build something around the sun and we can't... Could you imagine you build something around the sun and the Earth loses 5% of the heat from the sun? You want to talk about global frickin' cooling? I mean, we're dead. We're toast. I bet you we lose 5% of the sun rays from the sun because we built a stupid Dyson Sphere. Earth collapses in within 2 or 3 years. I mean, like we have Waterworld. I mean, call Kevin Costner. We're going to need a few details on how to survive here on Waterworld. But that is so. Look, last segment is the Dyson Sphere today, and I'm going to go through the reason. Even Freeman Dyson himself called it stupid. It's not what he was talking about. He said, "No, this whole idea of a sphere, I'm stuck with it, but there's nothing I can do." Literally, that's what he says verbatim in the video. I did a video. We're gonna go through it. Where's the? Oh, so Charlie Kirk. Okay, this is guys. I'm gonna Charlie Kirk. A lot of people, when I first, okay, I'm not going to go through everything. I mean, word is that there's some things that the YouTube algorithm, I'm not a big channel. I'm not Candace Owens, so she could get away with saying stuff, but she's a big channel. But I am going to mention the key points. And if I say CK, that means Charlie Kirk. So here is what I think. Here's what I think happened, or is the answer, or at least is a theory for Charlie Kirk. We've all seen the, we all know about the rifle, right? It was a 30-06. There's no head left. I don't care about the theories. Well, maybe it was a practice shot where it had less. He leaves the screwdriver on the roof, reassembles it, hides it in his jeans, leaves the entire rifle in the forest, where he reassembles it without the screwdriver. And then the video of him running on the roof. Well, why don't you just show us like the extra 10 seconds before that? You've got the video. I mean, there's a lot of video that, I mean, in every Charlie Kirk event, there was like 8K, 4K cameras everywhere, like freaking everywhere. It's kind of like 9/11, the Pentagon. You got like 679 cameras. Just show us a bit of video. Dispel the belief. So none of the video. I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say that one. So then you see, so this whole Tyler Robinson thing, you saw him, he's walking around, like, you know, they see like the house camera, they see him walking around, he's driving. And then the infamous Dairy Queen picture. Remember, have you seen the Dairy Queen picture? Is this a man on the run? He's looking up, he's got his like nuggets and he's got his like delicious treat from Dairy Queen. And he's looking at the TV, he goes, this is not a man on the run. There's something fundamentally wrong here. Just from this perspective, it gets worse. It gets much worse. If you watched when the incident happened, when blood hits cloth, it doesn't bounce off of it. It absorbs it. Cloth is very good at sucking up blood. It's very good at it. Very good at it. And if you look closely, and there's been things written all over or shown video where the close-up of the wound, where it moves and you see the pixelation on the wound. You see the magic chair that falls through the table. You see the freedom all messed up. You see his arm that turns very thin, then it gets very. This is, if you've ever worked with AI generating images, this is very similar to what you would see on AI generation. Now, any wound, a lot of like Green Berets, people that were in the military talk about what happens when there was a hockey player that had it doesn't just fall out lumpy, it shoots out. It would be everywhere, but yet there's no blood anywhere. Nowhere is there any blood, except there's one scene when he gets hit. So there's no blood anywhere. When they carry him to the car, there's no blood. He is wearing angel white. Charlie Kirk is wearing angel white running shoes. There's not one blood, not one speck, nothing. The guys are treating him on the floor. You see the close-up. There's no blood. There's nothing. People are walking around afterwards on it. If it was soaked into the ground everywhere, wouldn't you be like a little bit concerned that, you know what, I'm not going to step there because there'd be footprints everywhere. You cannot. Okay, that being said, There was no witnesses. There's 0 witnesses from Charlie's left-hand side, 50%. There's no witnesses. It's very strange. There was one witness who tried to talk. He was abruptly shut down. Doesn't make sense. But maybe that's the idea. Like, none of this is supposed to make sense. However, when was the last time a vice president the next day flies a casket on Air Force Two? It's never happened. I Googled it. There's no incident where it's ever happened. It's like no one wanted the casket to be touched. Well, if it's on the vice president's plane, no one's fucking with it. I'll tell you that. If it's on Air Force Two, no one's fucking with it. I'll guarantee you. Oh, and he was taken to a private hospital, long past the public one, which was much closer. I think a big thing is you got to control the area. If it's in a private hospital, you can control it. If it's not, but the fact is, if there's no blood, if there's nothing, there's no stuff coming out, like, well, and then, so the president of the United States flies a private citizen's body the next day, or was it the second day, to Phoenix? It's never happened. There's no autopsy. Now, there's a coroner's report. That's not an autopsy. Don't conflate the two. If you look at Kobe Bryant, there's a full you could Google Kobe Bryant autopsy. It's there. You can see it online. Even his daughter. It's there. You can see the autopsy. It's graphic. Yeah. I do not recommend people to take a look unless you have what happened to Kobe Bryant and his daughter was horrific. What happened to Charlie Kirk, if what we saw was actually what happened, was horrific. If it was what... then there's that guy on scene yelling, "I did it." He was also seen at 9/11, a few other things. Like, okay, what? I don't, and then... So he gets to Phoenix, and then within 2 days, within 48 hours, the crime scene is cemented over. It's cemented over. How? There is no way you could take a crime scene of that magnitude. You just had the vice president of the United States fly the body to a different city. The vice president of the United States. And they're cementing over the area 2 days later. How could they be cementing over, like, one of us normies gets hit by bullets at a Dairy Queen. Okay, I'll use McDonald's. And they got that thing roped off for 3 days. CK gets hit and they're why are they cementing it within 48 hours? There's a reason why, and I'll tell you why very soon. Did you notice no one was genuinely crying? Like, take a look at everyone, like at TPUSA. Where's his mom and dad? Where's his sister? Nothing against his wife, but I'm like, okay, that's during the memorial. The memorial is not a funeral. Don't conflate the two. The two are very different. It's like, is this a Kiss concert? Because they got things shooting off, and like all I expect to hear is Gene Simmons going, "You want the best, you got the best." It's the start of a Kiss concert. It didn't feel. It felt everything feel. And then the awkward scene of the wife over top the casket with the hands that look like rubber. I don't know. I look. Where's his resting place? Where is he resting? If I want to go see Elvis Presley, I know where to go. If I want to go see Jim Morrison, I know where to go. If I want to go see Prince, I know where to go. I know where. There is no confirmed resting place. Why? Why is this? Why is there no? A memorial service is not a funeral. I think so. You ask yourself, you try and so everything that's happened with all the things that I just meant. There's a few more things, and I don't want to get into the gruesome details, and because nothing makes sense here. The only reason you would have the authority or the power to cement over a crime scene is if, in fact, it wasn't a crime scene. If, in fact, no one that day actually perished. Well, it wasn't a crime scene. No one, there's no death certificate. No one died. So you cement it over. But the Internet of Things has all these ideas going. No one wants to stop. No one is stopping all these ideas about what happened to Charlie. But if there's no red stuff everywhere, because it would be freaking everywhere. Is it a case where, like, if you Jeffrey Epstein, if you take a look at Jeffrey Epstein, I never believed for a second that they killed him. Not for a second. I did. The guy had a different nose, different ears, different, the body, everything. I always felt that he was whisked away to a happy land. I think he's probably still alive. I never bought for a sec that Jeffrey Epstein was. There was a lot of sheets in Jeffrey Epstein's room. Did you see all the sheets? Who gets that many sheets? He says, "Hey, can I get more or those orange sheets? Yeah, I really like those orange sheets. Could I get like 10 times more?" I don't know how anyone gets that many sheets into his room. Nobody knows exactly what happened that day, but one theory has to be that nothing happened, and that the video we see was an AI going over talk, because what came out did not go into the t-shirt. It did not stain the t-shirt. He had angel white running shoes. No blood was dripping. No one had anything on him or her. It would have been everywhere. Like, it would have been a slop fest. The only way that you get away with not having a real autopsy, the cementing over, the everything else, is that what people think occurred didn't occur. Manufactured reality. Tucker Carlson is doing I never believed the 9/11 thing. I think most people, when you take a look at the Pilots Association and everyone else, they look at that and say, well, no, that's not what happened. And I think with Charlie Kirk, CK, it was an elaborate manufacture of reality. Is he still alive? Like Jeffrey Epstein? His parents aren't devastated. No one's devastated. Nobody looked honestly devastated. Look, I just lost my best friend. This was a highly charismatic man. This was we would have differed in ideology, but Charlie Kirk was a substantial man. And he was getting on the wrong side of certain issues from what others are reporting. I'm not reporting it. I'm just thinking, I'm not a political man. I don't want to get political. So the idea would be, if you look at it, that no crime actually occurred, and is an elaborate manufacture of reality. Chairs falling through tables, pixelation of the wound area, unstained. No, that is what I believe, and I believe that we will never know. The truth will never know. Tyler Robinson is a patsy. I don't think he did anything. I don't think he did. If there's a trial, will it come out? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But I think when you take a look at all the evidence, nothing happened that day. Half of the audience there's no witnesses. The people that tried to talk were shut down immediately. We have no witness. No one's telling us what actually happened that day. Is actually a bigger mystery in terms of Again, the only way you are able to cement over a crime scene is if it's not a crime scene. Behind the scenes, everyone's talking. Well, okay, well, no one perished. So so you can't cement over that. Look, no one perished. We don't care what the internet's saying. They could fucking talk all day long. Show us where someone perished. And so they cemented over. You need if the manufacture of reality. This is closer to the Matrix than we've ever thought. AI is just beginning, my friends. AI is just at the infancy. And if you take a look at, I follow all the tech companies, having worked in the stock market for many years. I follow all the tech companies, the circle, everyone's like raising money and spending money amongst themselves. They're kind of like growing, giving each other dollars while the rest of us just get fucked out of jobs. And there's so many people hurting from AI. You're not going to stop it. You're not going to stop progress. Or the way it should be pronounced is progress. You're not going to stop it. So that is the Charlie Kirk. I don't think it'll ever be. It'll just sort of sit there and languish. And at the end of the day, it's a footnote in history. Real science could easily solve it, but it's not. It's not meant to be. it's like the Spinal Tap, the drummer situation. He died in a bizarre gardening accident, and the authorities said it's just better left unsolved. It's like, okay, well, that's got it. Okay. And that is all I will say on frickin' Charlie Kirk, CK. I'm done. I have no desire to have the show and the algorithm attached with CK. I mean, you know what? I'm an agnostic, obviously, but God bless him. And God, if you like whatever God you believe in, whether it's the Lutheran, the Roman Catholic, evangelical, this and that, the Mormon, may your God bless you. Dyson Spheres. Oh, get that out of here. Get that out of here. Dyson Spheres. We're itchy eye. So Dyson Spheres. That is gonna be, thank you for thank you. Dyson Spheres. So Dyson Spheres, Freeman Dyson. I did a video on Dyson Spheres. So I am someone who believes, and I know there's a lot of people because the video got a lot of likes. And if you want to watch the video, go into Godless Universe and you can take a look at the Dyson Sphere delusion. And I know, look, no one is going to build anything around our frickin' sun. Like, fuck. Like,
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Yeah, well, that's what a Dyson Sphere is. Like, literally, come back to Earth. It's not going to fucking happen. A Dyson Sphere, look at me. A Dyson Sphere is not going to happen. That's all. And this video will explain why. Now, I think the idea of a Dyson Sphere in terms of what humanity can do and how we get all excited about virtually 99.99999% of everything that we've ever discovered has been within our atmosphere. We do, in the International Space Station, we do rat tests. We do tests up there that are basically like with rats. I mean, they're a little bit more complex than that, right? We cannot do testing out in outer space. We die very quickly. We're spongy. We're biological. Nothing lives in space. So anyway, this is the Dyson Sphere. Do I gotta remove this stuff? Okay, I'm gonna add it to stage. So this is the video that I did here on Godless Universe, discussing why I believe the Dyson Sphere is a delusion.
A Dyson Sphere has become one of the most iconic concepts of all the related Dyson theoretical structures. It proposes to siphon energy from a star. Physicist Freeman Dyson originally proposed the concept of a Dyson ring and Dyson swarm back in 1960. But science fiction has since expanded it into a massive, exaggerated concept.
And you got to think. I mean, there's this visual is very. I mean, it's this. If that was our sun, I mean, you would need the mass of the more than the sun. Break it down, which is what 1.3 million Earths fit into the sun. This is a ridiculous concept of what you see of a Dyson sphere. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Associated with the rise of a Type II Kardashev civilization.
Unfortunately, I used the word in my paper in Science, artificial biosphere, to describe these possible alien activities, biosphere just being an inhabited region. And I called it an artificial biosphere as being something that would radiate in the infrared band. And the science fiction writers got hold of this phrase and imagined it then to be a spherical, rigid object.
So that was Freeman Dyson, and his ideas were very much grounded in because it was basically he was talking about a swarm, like all these like small satellites going out collecting heat. You can't get too close to the sun, or like stuff melts. It's 2,000 degrees Celsius with it. I forgot the distance, which basically melts everything. So that was Freeman Dyson. He comes back and talks about the sphere part of the Dyson sphere.
Is it even remotely possible to build a mega structure around a star, to harness its immense and endless energy and elevate the human race into a true interplanetary power? That's the seductive promise of a Dyson sphere. Ironically, Freeman Dyson himself disliked the term and was not happy that the word sphere was associated with his name.
And the science fiction writers got hold of this phrase and imagined it then to be a spherical, rigid object. And the aliens would be living on some kind of artificial shell, a rigid structure surrounding a star, which wasn't exactly what I had in mind. But in any case, that's become then a favorite object of science fiction writers. They call it the Dyson Sphere, which was a name I don't altogether approve of. But anyway, I'm stuck with it. But the idea was a good one.
I mean, that's Freeman Dyson in his own words. I'm stuck with it. He never liked this idea of a Dyson sphere. He knew it was stupid. Because when he was talking about with Dyson swarms, like the idea of manageable size satellites collecting energy from our fusion reactor, the sun. And then the Kardashev scale picks it up, which is, again, a 1964 Soviet Union construct. And when the fuck has the Soviet Union ever created anything worth... Everything's going nano. It's not going bigger. Newsflash. And newsflash to Avi Loeb and 3i Atlas. If you're going to send a spaceship to another solar system 100 light years away, and you have the option to send 1,000 nanobots that can record everything and send stuff back, or you're going to send a 12-mile mothership, what are you going... Like, any advanced civilization is not going to send a freaking 12-mile mothership. Nor is the amount of rocky substance within our solar system, if you broke down everything, wouldn't even come close to building a Dyson sphere. But Freeman Dyson himself, his own words, like he said, oh shit, they're putting that sphere thing with me, Dyson. I get it.
He never proposed a solid shell around a star and viewed the sci-fi interpretation as wildly misleading. Brutal realities are mostly glossed over in the belief that some kind of magical technology will solve the massive physical and technology barriers. We can start with the sun's radiation. It's so intense that it would shred every cell in your body instantly. The sun's radiation increases with the inverse square law. Getting 3 times closer results in 9 times the energy.
I mean, the radiation alone, if you try to get too close to the sun, the radiation alone, like even if you're like at Mercury, the radiation without any protection, like we get our magnetic field from our Earth, if you're on Mars, you're like dead in a second. That's how much radiation is, if I may say, radiating from that massive ball of fusion. How are you going to get close enough to build a Dyson sphere?
Every square meter. A structure that orbits closer than Mercury, which is where most Dyson sphere concepts place it, would have to survive temperatures well beyond 2000 degrees Celsius. No known material, not tungsten, not carbon composites, could survive such sustained exposure.
Well, I mean, that we need to call Marvel and get some adamantium. I mean, there's no metal, there's nothing that we know of that can withstand the temperatures anywhere close to the sun. It's a fusion reactor, motherfuckers. Anyway, like, you got people who believe in the Dyson sphere concept have got to stop believing in the Dyson sphere concept. Along with it, the Kardashev scale. Everything's nano, not big O, not Soviet Union big O. It's nano. But radiation is the first issue, the first problem, major problem. The sun is a radioactive monster.
Even if you invented a miracle material that could resist melting, it would be bombarded by relentless streams of high-energy particles, UV radiation, and apocalyptic bursts like solar flares and coronal mass ejections. How do proponents of the Dyson sphere concept propose to control something like this? A massive solar flare. There is no shielding that could withstand this enormous release of heat and energy. Even if you did discover some kind of magical material, the quantities you would need are incomprehensible.
I mean, look at that. Can you imagine you built yourself your little Dyson sphere, and then one of these things comes from the sun. What are you going to do? I don't understand. One of these massive solar flares from our sun, and the entire Dyson sphere collapses, and how much time, energy, resources have you wasted trying to build? Look at the size of that solar flare. This is why one of the reasons of radiation, solar flares. You are not building a Dyson sphere. It gets worse. Now, if you still believe a Dyson sphere is possible, it does get worse. We've yet only just begun, my friends.
For perspective, this is the size of the Earth compared to the Sun. Our Sun comprises 99.86% of all...
There is... Can I get that? No, shit, sorry. Where do I get this? Ah, come on. Don't do this to me. There we go. There we go. Look at the sun. How are you going to build a Dyson sphere? You got Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. There's your rocky planets. You could dismantle all 4 planets. You got nowhere close. You could, even if Jupiter was all rocky, I mean, Jupiter's radiation alone would annihilate any human being that got too close to it. If every planet, 1.4% of the matter is what the planets represent in our solar system. If every ounce was a rocky material, but it has to be the right rocky material. It just can't be a rocky material and say, oh, you know, we'll build a Dyson sphere out of it, I guess. No, that's not how... What's the material going to be? So you need specialized material that goes around this big yellow ball we call our sun. Look at the size of the planets. If you still believe a Dyson sphere is possible, I need to sit down with you.
Matter in our solar system. The next major problem you need to overcome is the sun's immense gravity. It would introduce catastrophic instability. A solid shell, ring, or arm structure would have to remain 100% perfectly balanced in all directions in a scale that is nearly inconceivable. Even the tiniest micro-tilt, wobble, or drift would create ungodly torque and stress created by the insane gravity of the sun.
Could you imagine the gravity? So a 200 pound, I'm about 200 pounds. I would weigh I would weigh 6,000 pounds 30 times. I would weigh 6,000 pounds on the surface of the sun. If the sun had a surface, it doesn't because it's plasma. But if I was standing on the surface of the sun, I would weigh 3 tons. I would weigh 3 tons. The gravity of the sun is so immense. Now you're talking about the gravity of the sun, the 2,000 degrees Celsius, which is, probably even warmer, the closer you get, obviously, the radiation and the amount of rocky planets in our solar system, if you still think a Dyson sphere is possible, you're not paying attention. There's more reasons why a Dyson sphere is impossible. We've only just begun, my friends. Well, we're halfway through.
It would shred the entire structure in seconds. You're not just fighting thermal damage, you're fighting orbital mechanics. Any misalignment would trigger a cascade of shearing forces and orbital decay, crushing the entire structure or shooting it off into space. The sun's gravity.
That's actually a really important thing. If you I don't know how you would try and construct this thing around the sun. Just its gravity would rip it apart. Like, how do you float things around the sun without the whole thing just collapsing into the sun? If something that large collapsed into the sun, you would create an absolute disaster. You would wipe the Earth out easily. You built any sort of structure that collapses into the sun, it would create solar flares that would emit so much radiation, it would be an utter disaster. How do you keep these pieces in place? They just float in outer space until you're ready? No, the sun, you can't take that just yet. There's rules. Physics works on rules. People who think Dyson spheres are possible think that, well, they don't apply to Dyson spheres. We'll just build it. We'll figure out a way. We'll do the Tony Stark thing. Tony Stark will figure it out. Well, okay. Well, okay.
Is 28 times stronger than that of Earth's, making a 200-pound man nearly 3 tons if they stood on the surface of the sun.
There you go. I would be 3 tons, almost 3 tons on the surface of the sun. How would you control trying to place a Dyson sphere around an object where 1.3 million Earths fit inside of it? I don't understand. I would 6 tons. Like, the gravity of the sun is immense, let alone the radiation and everything else that go, the heat. I mean, these Dyson spheres ain't looking too good right now.
Some have proposed counter-rotating rings or magnetic stabilization as potential solutions, but the sheer scale of such a system makes the idea laughably absurd. A single ring, half the distance of Mercury's orbit, would span tens of millions of kilometers. The mass of material that would be needed is in the hundreds of quadrillions of tons, orders of magnitude beyond what humanity has ever or could ever build. Dismantle Mercury? Sure, it's...
I think it's really important just to take a look at this picture just one more time. Now, if you're not convinced at this point in time in the video that Dyson spheres are not possible, and you look at this picture at the size of the rocky planets compared to the sun, which you're trying to build what are you trying to build around the sun? That's Mercury, that's Venus, that's Earth. Yes, you have the asteroid belt, but do you know in the asteroid belt, the amount of matter, rocks in the asteroid belt only equates to about something that is slightly larger than Mars. It's not a whole lot of, and even if you broke down Jupiter, but you have to, it's not that you have rocky material, you have to have the right rocky material. If you took all of these planets out of their orbits, well, I'm sure something's going to happen to our orbit. You just can't start taking out planets. I know in Fantastic Four, Reed Richards thought he was going to be able to teleport the Earth away without the moon, and it was going to be okay. That's Marvel physics. Like, have you seen Fantastic Four? Seriously, have you seen Fantastic Four? If you haven't, then you do like science. It is science stupid. I urge you to watch Fantastic Four just to realize how stupid these people are who are writing scripts that know absolutely nothing. I just want science approximate, right? And I think anyone who is a real science fiction lover, right? We love Star Trek because all the things that Gene Roddenberry kind of put out there that are possible. That's why we love Star Trek. We love Star Trek because the warp drive has a feeling of possibility, even though the reality of it is, I mean, good luck. Oh, did you guys know the new Mario 2 trailer was released today? I watched. It's kind of, it might, it's probably gonna do okay. The new Mario 2 trailer. I just got a space.com. I get all the top headlines. Space.com decided that Mario and Peach go planet hopping in the first trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Space.com. Let's get back to Dyson Spheres.
Rich in metals, but mining it, refining the materials, lifting them into orbit, and assembling them into balanced megastructures is not just a logistical nightmare. It's a physical impossibility. To construct even a fraction of a Dyson sphere, you'd need to disassemble entire planets for their resources. You'd need trillions of coordinated launches, or nanobot swarms that self-replicate in solar orbit. Neither of those things exist, and if they ever do, they would still be no match for the sun's immense power. Even if you dismantle every planet in our solar system, every asteroid and meteor, the amount of material you would have wouldn't even come close to what you would need. That's assuming that every pound of every object that you dismantle is even usable.
You can even go out to the Oort cloud, right? Like with all those, rocky objects past Pluto. I think, well, that's basically where Pluto is, right? We can spend 15 years flying out to the Oort cloud to try and take some material back from the Oort cloud and see how that works out. But
one of the biggest engineering challenges you would face is thermal rejection. How do you dissipate the overwhelming amount of heat before it melts everything? Every surface facing the star would absorb immense energy. That energy has to go somewhere. In space, there's nothing around to carry away the heat, so the only method to get rid of it is to slowly radiate it out into the void of space. But that process is extremely inefficient and requires a huge surface area because of the sheer lack of particles. If the heat...
So basically what we're saying there is if you want to dispense heat, you need particles that come and, that distributes heat. That's why our atmosphere is so efficient at distributing heat around our planet. If you go to Mercury, the difference between shade and sun is like 400 degrees. You move 1 inch on Mercury, the difference is 400 degrees. Why? There's no atmosphere. The atmosphere on Earth allows that heat to be distributed evenly. In the middle of space, in the vacuum of space, you have very few particles that allows you to distribute that heat. So if you're trying to build a Dyson sphere and what you're building is absorbing all the heat from the sun, you need to dissipate that heat. You can't into outer space. There's no particles. Is this problem number 6 on the Dyson sphere scale? If you do not believe that building a Dyson sphere is impossible at this point in time, I don't know what to say except keep watching. We've got more reasons why a Dyson sphere is impossible to build.
Isn't managed perfectly, it will build up very fast and cause the entire structure to overheat, melt, and collapse in a matter of seconds. The proposed rotating arm idea is even worse, and perhaps the most laughable of them all.
So I literally, when I was doing this video, I used the word worse. I remember thinking, do I use the word stupid? It's like it's stupider, it's dumber, it's more moronic, it's kind of more
retard, man. Never go full retard.
Right, that's what. Oh man, So when you're doing a video, you're always looking at the verbiage, right? Like how. And I went back and forth on some of these words. I was like, okay, you're not gonna calling people names or calling people stupid or dumb is like it gets nowhere, right? So I tempered my language, I think, pretty good. And if you're gonna have a discussion with someone, you don't want to be mean, right? Being mean is like, you come off as the ass. You don't want to come off as the ass. But look, if you believe that Dyson spheres exist, you need to reassess.
These concepts imagine giant mechanical tethers that swing around a star, collecting and flinging energy to distant receivers. But to remain stable, these structures would have to spin at blistering speeds. At such velocities, stress on the materials becomes extreme. The centrifugal forces would rip the structure apart long before it ever completed even a single rotation, making the entire concept not just impractical, but borderline absurd. Even a single micrometeoroid strike would cause catastrophic failure.
That's another huge issue. So you've got, let's say you somehow built this impossible structure around the sun. Impossible. But let's just say for purposes of conversation, you built it. A society at a level 2 Kardashev Soviet Union bullshit scale, Kardashev garbage scale. No one's building this stuff. It's nano. Newsflash. But let's just say you built it. And a meteor hits it. Meteors hit the sun or an asteroid or something. The sun has got gravity. It pulls stuff into it. All you need is one little thing to hit a Dyson sphere, which changes all of your physics. And that little tiny change sends everything crashing into the sun. One little hit from a micro meteor could send your Dyson sphere crashing into the sun, which would create absolutely monstrous solar flares, which would absolutely destroy the Earth and every planet. Life would be bye-bye. It would be gone. How are you going to prevent these? I mean, we're looking pretty bad with the Kessler effect going around our Earth right now. I mean, the Kessler effect is another thing. We might do the Kessler effect next week. Like, it's a pretty pronounced problem. A very pronounced problem. That's going to be, yeah, well, I'll do it next week. But the Dyson sphere, my friends, if you're not convinced by now in this video that Dyson spheres are not possible, I am without speech.
If you stop maintaining the system, stop actively managing orbital drift, thermal strain and alignment, or simply make a single error, the whole sphere will be destroyed. The sun will not cooperate. It's not a passive object. It's a gargantuan, unstable fusion reactor that becomes more powerful the closer you get. To think that humanity can develop the know-how to tame the sun's godlike power is delusional. Trying to build anything in a solar orbit that close to a star, in one of the most hostile construction zones in the universe, is wishful thinking at best. The cost alone would be incalculable. You'd need unlimited energy, labor, and materials, none of which are available.
Some of these concepts of Dyson spheres, even that's what we saw in the beginning of the video. This is why Freeman Dyson, science fiction writers, got a hold of this stuff. And they turned it into something that is ridiculous. This is not being built. This is not being built. There's not enough rocky planet. Like, we've already gone through all the reasons why it's not being built. You got to get off this whole idea of a Dyson sphere. People honestly believe that it's possible. And it doesn't help putting wasted energy of imagination into the idea of a Dyson field. Dyson, what did I say? Dyson sphere? What the fuck? What the fuck did I just hear? Dyson sphere. It's not going to happen for so many reasons that if you're going to waste all of your, if a civilization is going to waste so much time, effort, and energy on building a Dyson sphere, it will wipe them out. They're not an advanced civilization. They're dumb. Now, and they could not become an advanced civilization with thinking like that. Nano, smaller. This is Soviet Union thinking. You know, that stupid ass Soviet Union country, that system fell apart. Thank God it fell apart. And anyone who's hoping for like some sort of a Soviet Union system to come back, like I say, I was born in Czechoslovakia. If you like meat 4 times a year, welcome to communism. Welcome to Soviet Union thinking. You seriously want to go like, okay, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Stars are not generators waiting to be plugged into. They are violent and chaotic, with thermal and gravitational power that wasn't designed to be harnessed and ridden like a horse. The dream of taming a star with mere technology belongs firmly in the realm of science fiction. This is a godless universe.
Thank you. That was every argument for why a Dyson Sphere is delusional. You can see the video. So if you go to Godless Universe, go to our, I think it's about the 12th or 15th video down. Look, you got to think practically. You got to think in ways. I know we want our imaginations to take root and like, oh, everything is possible. Everything is not possible. There are laws to the universe that say, oh, no, 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 you will not do that. You will not do that. No, no. And that's just a matter of fact. You don't need to be an astrophysicist. You know what? We don't need Brian Cox to tell us it's not going to happen. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. But hey, it's great to dream, right? Civilizations need to dream. Civilizations need to. But you got to remember, every major breakthrough that we have done as a civilization, every major technological advancement has been within our atmosphere. On the International Space Station, we do fairly trivial tests up there. And the amount of time, effort, and energy it takes just to shoot up food to keep these people alive up there, who can only be up there a maximum of 6 months because of microgravity, or else they'll die. I don't know how Elon's going to get over, this trip to Mars, right? I am like, look, do you think humans colonizing Mars will happen? Do you think that? I don't think so. And if they do, they'll die quickly. How are you going to, 9 months, you're going 9 months to Mars in microgravity, basically zero gravity, right? Elon is not going to have like the Martian. He's not going to have the big circle thing going. It's not going to happen. That microgravity destroys the human body. There's only one place that we know of that our bodies can exist. It is a 1 mile band around this blue marble in the middle of this massive universe. And it's the only place that we can exist. Otherwise, the amount of energy, the amount of resources, the amount of technology that is required to keep this flesh and blood and bone thing working is astronomical. One thing goes wrong. What was the Martian? What was his name? The character's name that was on I love the movie, right? The movie was freaking awesome. And there was a semblance of some real science in that. And I think because it's science approximate, right? The Martian was really science approximate, and it was good. It was a comedy. It won for best comedy, The Martian. I mean, I like Matt Damon. I always like Matt Damon. Elysium was kind of interesting too, right? There's some really good science fiction movies. This was still at a time where science fiction writers were out there writing science fiction. A great example is in today's world of science fiction, who are not science fiction people. Section 31? Section 31, right? The Star Trek thing. I'm doing a review on that on this channel, which is probably the worst. Michelle Yeoh has been a part of 2 of the absolute worst fantasy science fiction franchises. She's a good actress though too. Like Michelle Yeoh, like she is a Yo. How do you say that? Yeah. Am I gonna get in trouble? Yo, I'm not. Yo, man, don't get me in trouble. No disrespect, man. I'll go with you. Come on. Michelle Yeoh is a great actress, but she's been in Blood Origins. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Have you guys watched Blood Origins? And Section 30. Is it Section 31? Holy jeez, I tried to watch it. Section 31. Yeah. Oh my god. Guys, if you're a Star Trek fan and you watch Section 31, you will get angry. But anyway, their idea of science. This is someone who. Okay, shut up. Got it. It's funny. All right. I love that laugh. This is what non-science fiction people do when they write science fiction. Do you remember the girl? She blows a bubble, right? So a bubble, because of the nature of everything, the bubble is nice and round, right? But they think it's science fiction because the bubble, it was a heart-shaped bubble. So it must be science fiction because it broke the laws of physics and it wasn't circular. It was the shape of a heart. Fuck. That is the state. I'm a screenwriter. I write science fiction. I've won many awards doing it. And this is what is so absolutely blatantly irritating. There are a lot of good people in Hollywood. I spent 20 years in Hollywood. 20 years in that fucking city. Decivilization city. There's a lot of good people in the movie business that have been wiped out because people that had an agenda put them out of a job. Good people. These are people that were making movies in the 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, going back to the 90s. These are the same people that were making movies who got put out of a job because DEI, Me Too, and everything else had to come in and destroy science fiction. They literally have the Ray movie. They literally have a woman feminist activist who has no experience writing anything in science fiction coming to do a Star Wars film. The Ray movie. Oh, I can't wait for the Ray. So I don't like being mean, right? I have nothing against her. Look, if she can get the job doing the Ray movie, good on you, man. I don't know how you got the job. This isn't how corporate America works. You know, like, what are you good at? Well, I'm good at feminism, activism type stuff. Did you want to do the new Star Wars? Fuck, what? That's like them asking me did you want to do the movie about women, activism, feminism? Well, I am like a horror science fiction writer, so I don't know. Okay, I'll take it. I'll write. You're gonna trust me with a feminist, activist script? I'll do it. It's not going to be a good script because, I'm not good at that activism, feminism shit. I'm not. It's the same thing of having someone like that do a Star Wars movie. I hope they make that movie, okay? I hope they freaking make that movie. I do. I hope Sinead O'Boy Choi, what's her name? And I apologize. I keep forgetting her name. And I mispronounce her name just because of my own stupidity. I can't remember her name. I want to see that movie. I really want to see that Ray movie. I want to see Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars dig themselves so freaking deep into the shithole of stupidity. You took a franchise that had a dedicated fan base of hundreds of millions of people and you squandered it. It's frustrating because if you like science fiction, like so many of us do, blowing a heart-shaped bubble is not science fiction. Section 31, Star Trek, Section 31. I'm about halfway through it. I got it. I will do a review of Section 31 on this channel. And my other channel, Poprageous. I just fired that channel back up. So I will do a review. So that was so today, the only reason I'm not going to mention Charlie Kirk again. I said my piece with Charlie Kirk in this episode. In this episode, I said my piece with the Charlie Kirk incident. I gave you my theory. My theory is that the only reason that they were able to cement a crime scene is because it wasn't a crime scene. No one passed away that day. There's no red stuff anywhere. If you need proof, just watch when they carry him to the car. The angel white running shoes he has. Now, if the red stuff is falling, like, come on. How can people be so, I'm not going to say the S word, silly? How could people be so silly? The Charlie Kirk thing to me was a manufactured event. No one passed away. And that's why they were able to cement over it. That's why there's no autopsy. That's why there's no funeral. Where is he laid to rest? Where is Charlie Kirk laid to rest? Can someone please tell? There's no resting place. Why? There's no autopsy. Yes, there's a coroner report. Yes, it's not the same thing. And this is all I will say about CK. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with CK. People have asked me to just mention something, but I will done. So YouTube algorithm, if you're punishing people for bringing it up, I will not say it again. YouTube algorithm. Okay. Tomorrow I'm doing Avi Loeb. My friend Avi Loeb. I'm still waiting for a phone call from Avi. Because I got a standing bet with Avi. My standing bet is that if 3i Atlas is an alien craft, he's taking that side. I'm taking the bet that 3i Atlas is not an alien craft. That's my side. And the loser of that bet has to eat just a little plate of squirrel poop. Little plate of squirrel poop. That's it. I haven't heard from Avi just yet, but tomorrow I'm going to do the 12 things that Avi Loeb has said verbatim about 3i Atlas. Everything that he has said about 3i Atlas. And then I'm going to give the real explanation. And I haven't, I just checked my messages. I still haven't heard back from Avi Loeb. You want to take that bet? You want to take that bet, Avi? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. If you guys came in late, this is the Putin Russian robot. This is the Russian robot they just released today. Look. No way.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
That is the Russian robot they just released today. It went so bad. Get my comrade. Get the black, cover it up. It looks like Putin. It looks like Vladimir. You can look at it walk. I mean, this is, and granted, like the Russians are fucking trying. They're trying hard, right? They're going for it. They're going for it. Looks like he's got to like take a poop or something, right? Like, this is a robot that actually has to, go number 2. It's like, look, I must go. I'm a robot. I must go poop. I don't know. Help me. Guys, science is just as funny as anything else. If you can't laugh at science, I don't like stuffy science shows. I don't like stuffy science shows. And we are not a stuffy science show. I like to show the magic, and I love to show I love to show how fucked up Russian society is. He's born right from Soviet Union, He's Soviet Union technology. Our robot needs to take a poop. He look for bathroom. He cannot find bathroom. He goes out. He waves. He goes, well, shit. I get to take a shit. Guys, that is Russian. Ukrainians got nothing to worry about. I know there's a lot of people dying. Don't like it. But that's Russia. I love showing the stupidity of this country. They say Russia. Comrade. The purveyors of Marxism or Leninism. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, we got it. So thank you. That is an episode of A Godless Universe. We are back tomorrow night. And every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I invite you back for another edition of A Godless Universe. Thank you for watching. It was fun. I really,
Okay, children, let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby. We'll do it live. Fuck it.